I'm here in Brazil. I'm in a small neighborhood called Ponta Negra in a small city called Maricá, about 2 hours, 2.5 hours east of Rio de Janeiro. I'm Dennis from Groove Arts. I make music while wandering the world. Today I thought I would tell you about a new release that I've got coming out and tell you a little bit about the story behind that. I have a song called Starting Over coming out on April 11th, so please mark your calendars and have a listen to that. I wrote that song while I was in Philippines. I've been to Philippines many times in my adventures, seen some beautiful places. I would say my beach snobbery, if you will, kind of developed from there. Some beautiful, absolutely beautiful landscapes, or beachscapes, shall we say. Philippines is a little bit of a contrast because it's not exactly a rich country. There are some rich people there for sure, but it still does suffer from a lot of poverty. So it's a little bit ironic that they have some of the nicest beaches in the world, 7,000 islands. So it's a little ironic that there's lots of beaches there and some beautiful areas. I have some friends there, and the funny thing is they don't know how to swim. A lot of Filipinos, they don't know how to swim. They don't like the beach, some of them, which is crazy to me. So I've been to places like, top of my list would be places like El Nido, Boracay. Been to Cebu as well, but El Nido for the longest time was what I would say the best looking place in the world. Like it was just amazing to me. Lagoons, these beautiful rock structures coming out of the water. So really interesting and beautiful. If you get a chance to go, please do. I've been there 3 times. The first time I was there was 2012, when it was very hard to go there, which was actually kind of nice because today it suffers from over-tourism. So much so that at one point they were considering closing it down for a bit of a rest. When I went in 2012, there was no flights that went there. There are some private hotels, really expensive hotels, and they charter their own plane. And what they did back then is they would sell the seats that they couldn't sell to people like me. So I had to go to the airport 4 days ahead and buy a ticket. I couldn't do it any sooner, so I never knew when I could go. So I did go there in 2012. I did a photo shoot there. Beautiful, so quiet, and again, incredible views. The water is kind of like a bath, and it's kind of like almost not in this. It's kind of like out of this world. So I'm looking to replace that. Looking for another. To see if I can find another most beautiful place in the world. I think I may have found it here in Brazil, and I'm hoping to go there. I'm not sure when I'll be able to go, but hopefully soon. I do have an opportunity. I am going up north after this, and so maybe that's the time. And it's in the right time period too. That place is called Lençóis Maranhenses. I won't say too much more about it now. You can see lots of that in the internet, on YouTube, other channels on YouTube, but hopefully I'll be able to get a chance to go there. So we're talking about Philippines for a second. Boracay too, beautiful beach. I think it's a 12-kilometer stretch of powder white sand, so I spent a lot of time there. Something that was really cool that happened to me last year is I went to go visit a friend on a small kind of remote island called Tablas, which is physically near Boracay, but it's a little bit off the tourist track, at least for foreign tourists anyway. It takes a little bit of work to get there, but I was there to see a friend. She convinced me to come over, somebody who I had been working with in my photography days, who I'd known for a long time. She convinced me to come over, so I went over there, and she introduced me to probably the best singing coach I've ever had ever. And I spent as much time as I could, sometimes every day with him. And it was a wonderful experience. His name is Vaughn. If you ever happen to get over that side of the world, go check him out because he is wonderful. The difference that he made in my singing was kind of night and day. I was working on a song back then, which I'll release probably in May. And I'm singing on that song, but I wasn't happy with my vocals. Singing for me is the musical skill that I have to work on most. So I worked on it with him, and the thing that he did that was different from any other teacher is that he gave like positive reinforcement. So singing is unlike most other musical skills in that if you have a guitar or a bass, piano, you can see what you're doing, you can feel what you're doing, obviously you can hear what you're doing. So you get a lot of feedback that way. And a lot of people just learn by watching. You can learn quite a bit just by watching. And the fact that you can feel your way through the instrument, that's a big help. With singing, you are the instrument. So it's very, very airy and subjective in terms of what they're trying to teach you. You'd be hearing things like, put your voice out front. Don't sing in your throat. Sing over there. Sing 20 feet in front of you. And you're kind of thinking, what? So when you finally get to the right sound or the right pitch or the right rhythm or what have you, it really helps to know. And Vaughn did that. As soon as he heard something he liked, he's like, stop right there. Bottle that. Remember that. Let's do it again and try it again. And after about 4 days with him, my brain started to remember, kind of like sports, right? Started to remember the feeling and how I'm supposed to be breathing and how I'm supposed to be projecting, where the sound is. So he did that for me. So hats off to Vaughn for helping me there. I will go back there in a heartbeat. I might be going back later this year, so we'll see. So back to the song, starting over, I found myself holed up in a hotel for a couple of weeks. It was kind of optional. It was all under control and everything. So, but I found this great hotel in Mactan, Cebu. It was called Soto Grande. And I found this room that it was a corner room, a little bit more expensive, but it had this beautiful 180 degree view, I suppose, in which I could see the water and the outside and the blue sky. A little bit like here. And so I found it really inspiring to just sit there and write and work on ideas. I practiced a lot, worked on my singing, practiced a lot, worked on some different ideas. And one day I came home from a bike ride and I heard this beautiful voice. I heard this beautiful female voice, and I had to go see who it belonged to. So I went and sat down and watched her sing for a little bit. And during the break, introduced myself. Her name is Makai, and told her loved her voice, loved watching her sing. But there's something about her voice that to me is very musical. It's very expressive. So we were chatting. I told her I'm working on music, working on writing songs, and I asked her if she would be interested in working on some ideas together. And she said, yeah, let's do that. I was quite excited about that. So what I did is, I think that day, or probably the next day, I went back to my workstation that I had all set up in front of this beautiful view, and I decided I was going to come up with 3 ideas to present to her and see which one we could work on. I came up with 2, not 3, and showed it to her, and we decided to rent a studio and kind of jam it out a little bit. So she came up with some little melodic ideas and just hummed them. No lyrics yet, just kind of hummed them. And it actually sounded pretty cool right off the bat, the stuff that she came up with. And just the way, again, how she was expressing and feeling her way through the harmony. At this point, it was like simple drum program, I think synth bass and some keys. That's pretty well all I had with me anyway, just one keyboard. So we recorded that first set of ideas, and at the end of the day I said, hey, should we try to make this into a real song, a proper song with an intro, a bridge, a chorus, and all that stuff, all the verses? Should we do that? He said, yeah, let's do that. So the next day, so I went back to the hotel room, worked for about 4 or 5, 6 hours putting together the rest of the song with a verse, chorus, intro, bridge, all that wonderful stuff. And that was a lot of fun, but it was a lot of work too. But I finally got it done, and we went back to the studio, and we had and we worked it out. Before we went back to the studio, I had to send her my ideas and send her the whole song structure. So I did that, and the interesting thing is, we didn't have a name for this idea yet. So I just randomly decided to call it Starting Over. So I basically said to her, here's the song, and I don't know what to call it, but I'm going to call it Starting Over, just for lack of a better. We can rename it after, but that's what we decided to call it for now. So she took that, and on our second time together, she actually came back with the structure of some lyrics, which is really cool, and she interpreted it in her own way. It could, starting over, what does that bring to mind? It could be sad, could be happy, but our music was a little bit happy. So she picked up on that cue, and she came up with some lyrics and melody that really fit what we had. So we pretty well had something like a beginnings of a demo. So I asked her if she wanted to record it like properly, professionally, and she said, yeah, that'd be great. So we did that. I had to go back and kind of rehash and clean up the song a little bit, but we had a great time recording in Cebu with an engineer. His name was Jay, just kind of in the area. And Makai was great. I think she nailed her part, and I think in about 2.5 takes. I mean, for me, it took me a lot longer to record my parts. But she just kind of came in, did her thing, and it was really quick. And then she sang later that night in the hotel where I met her, because it was a Friday night. So that's the story of how that song came about. So that song, again, it's called Starting Over. Had a lot of fun with it. And it will be out on April 11th. Please have a listen to it. You can check out the rest of my music in the links below. And until next time, be safe out there, like, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.